Hey folks, today I'm going to show you how to properly set up the brand new OptiScaler 0.10 pre-1 build in Crimson Desert. We're pushing higher multipliers while keeping graphical artifacts and input latency to a minimum. Plus, we'll use FSR 4 upscaling mode to reduce that annoying oversharpened image quality and get a super smooth gameplay experience. Alright folks, let's get into the mod installation part. First, head down to the pinned comment where I've provided two download links. The first one is the official GitHub link to download the OptiScaler pre-release mod build. And the second link is to download the latest Dlss Enabler build directly from the official nexusmod's website. After downloading both mod files, drag and drop them onto your desktop like this. Now, navigate to your Crimson Desert installation folder. Go to Steam or Steam Library, Steam-apps, Common, Crimson Desert, and then scroll down and open up the bin64 folder. Right here, you'll see crimsondesert.exe along with a bunch of game DLL files. This is exactly where we drop our mod files. But hold on a second. If you're already using an older OptiScaler build, make sure to completely remove those old mod files first, just like this. Once that's cleaned up, now we can move on to the fresh installation. Open the downloaded OptiScaler zip file using WinRAR or setinzip and extract all these files directly into this folder where crimsondesert.exe is located. Now, locate optiscaler.dll. You can rename it to either dxgi or version.dll. I personally use the dxgi mode, so I'm renaming it to dxgi.dll. Now, we need to replace the Streamline SDK 2.1 for the game. You don't actually need to download Streamline files separately because they're already included right inside this downloaded OptiScaler folder. So here's what you do. First, make a quick backup of the original DLL files located in your crimsondesert.exe folder, just like this. So if anything goes wrong, you can easily restore them. Once backed up, open the OptiScaler folder, go into the Streamline folder, select all the files inside, copy them, and paste them right into your main crimsondesert.exe folder. Hit Replace when prompted. And that's it. Alright folks, we have one more quick task to do, and that's replacing the latest Dlss Enabler file. Now, open up the newly downloaded Dlss Enabler zip file using WinRAR or 7-zip. Next, go back into your OptiScaler folder. Drop the version.dll file from the Dlss Enabler zip directly into this OptiScaler folder, just like this. After that, remove the existing Dlss-Enabler-Headless file from here. And rename the newly added version.dll file to dlss-enabler-headless. Simple as that. Alright, now let's get access the FSR 4 upscaling using OptiScaler folder. To do this, open up the OptiScaler folder. Select the AMD Fidelity FX files shown on screen, copy them, and paste them into your main crimsondesert.exe directory, replacing any existing files. Next, open up the optiscaler.ini file using Notepad. Press Ctrl plus F to bring up the search bar, type in FSR 4 force model, and hit Enter. Under the line that says forces Opti to try to use a specific FSR 4 model, change the value of FSR 4 force model to 2. Once done, head over to File and Save, and close Notepad. Alright guys, everything is set up and ready to go. Alright, if we install the OptiScaler mod correctly, you should see the OptiScaler pop-up banner at the bottom as the game launches. Now, let's configure our frame generation input and output options right inside the game menu. Alright, now let's tweak a few in-game graphics settings first. Under the upscaler settings, select DLSS. I personally have access to Dlss 4 and 4.5 presets since I'm running an NVIDIA RTX 30 series card. Next, pick your preferred DLSS quality mode, whether it's quality or balanced. After that, head into the Graphics tab and optimize your general settings a bit. Getting a solid high base frame rate is super important because it minimizes visual artifacts and ensures a buttery smooth frame generation experience. Once that's done, let's open up the OptiScaler Mod menu. Press the Insert key on your keyboard to open up the OptiScaler overlay menu, just like this. Right here, you can see that FSR 4.1 is already active because of the edit we made earlier in optiscaler.ini. Now, a quick troubleshooting tip. If your game crashes repeatedly on startup, go back into optiscaler.ini, search for FSR 4 force model, and change the value from 2 back to 0, then save the file. The reason for this, guys, is that some older GPUs not support FSR 4.1, which causes the game to crash. So if you run into crashes, revert that value back to 0. Now, let's head over to the frame generation settings. Set FG input to DLSSG via NVNGX, and set FG output to FFX plus Enabler. This is the key change in this latest OptiScaler 0.10 build. You can use standalone Enabler if you want, but for the best stability and smoothness, I recommend FFX plus Enabler. Once selected, hit the Save button at the bottom, close OptiScaler, exit the game, and relaunch it to apply the changes. Once you launch into the game again, now that we've enabled frame generation in the main settings, let's turn frame generation on and set the multiplier to 2x. Next, open up the DLSS mod menu overlay. You'll see an indicator confirming that FrameGen is active. Even if it doesn't show up in the main menu, as soon as you jump into actual gameplay, you'll see that green indicator text right here confirming frame generation is running. Now, let's head straight into the gameplay. I'll show you how to tweak FSR 4.1 presets, switch modes, and choose the right FrameGen multipliers to avoid artifacts and get maximum smoothness. Now we are in actual gameplay. Press the Insert key to open up the OptiScaler menu again. As you can see, under Advanced Frame Gen settings, the current DLSSG option is highlighted in green, confirming it's active. Now, under the Frame Generation section, you can tweak the Override DLSS ratio, which is your FrameGen multiplier. But let me point out a very important limitation here. If you select 2x, 4x, or 6x in this FFX plus Enabler mode, watch what happens to the UI elements. Now folks, a quick heads up about the footage you're seeing. I'm actually recording the monitor using my mobile device for this test segment. See that? The in-game HUD and UI start flickering like crazy. It doesn't cause graphical artifacts in the actual gameplay environment, but the UI glitching is definitely annoying. Even tweaking Active Dispatch Flag's advanced HUD fix settings won't completely solve this in this specific build. Here's the secret fix. To completely eliminate UI flickering and get a clean experience, use either the 3x or 5x frame gen multiplier. Look closely now, guys. All the UI flickering and HUD glitches we saw earlier are 100% gone on 3x and 5x. The overall gameplay smoothness on OptiScaler 0.10 is night and day compared to older builds, making even 5x completely playable. However, on 5x, you might notice slight visual tearing when rapidly rotating the camera around your character, especially on distant trees, foliage, and mountains. I tested turning on VSync to fix this, but VSync locks your base frames to your monitor's refresh rate, which can actually increase input latency. So, I highly recommend keeping VSync off. My personal recommendation? Stick with 3x multiplier. We aren't just chasing raw FPS numbers geared. We want low input latency and zero visual artifacts. But if you want an extra smoothness push, feel free to toggle. Allow async on. Finally, let's activate FSR 4.1.1, upscaling. Go to the upscale section, choose FSR 3x, and click Change Upscale. If you previously used Dlss 4.5 preset M, you probably noticed an oversharpened image. Switching to FSR 4.1.1 softens that harsh oversharpening for a much more natural look. And that's how you properly set up OptiScaler 0.10, fix UI flickering with 3x5x multipliers, and tune FSR 4.1. Follow these steps carefully to get these exact results on your rig. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more high multiplier frame generation guides. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.